Hey guys, Willie and Murphy here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. So today I want to have a quick conversation about fuel. Now fuel is a very interesting one because everyone has to have it in their vehicles unless you're, actually no, even if you're running electric cars, you have to have a source of fuel. Source of fuel for your electric car being electric, source of fuel for your diesel car being diesel and petrol and so on and so forth. Now when I first passed my driving test, it was so easy to get in the car, drive to a garage and stick fuel in. That doesn't seem to be the case anymore. We've got the new introduction of the E10 fuel, which I'm told is no good for classic cars. Sort of advising everyone, don't use this E10 in your on your classic vehicles. Only use it in the modern stuff. E5 is becoming harder and harder to get hold of, and the issues I think surrounding E5 are it's not as pure as it maybe once was. For the reason of when people talk about E10 fuel and say don't use this in classic cars because it eats your rubber, it eats your copper, it eats the aluminium elements, it eats this, it eats that. I kind of have a feeling that the E5 has additives in it now that does exactly the same thing. And the reason is, let me show you. So, my Mini, 1979, Mini Clubman. It's always ran the same sort of fuel, E5. Now recently, I unearthed the car from a car cover, and it's back outside because I've got the Clio in the garage. But I unearthed the car from underneath the cover, prepared the car for a run, and the only thing I did was put fuel in it. I went to the garage. I went and bought, went to a BP garage, so it wasn't the cheapest garage. I put the E5 fuel in. I ran the car for the day. It ran faultlessly, other than when we had a heavy downpour of rain, but that's neither here nor there. However, the next time I came to use the vehicle, I turned the engine on and I got a really strong smell of fuel. Now underneath the back, when you've got your fuel tank in the boot, you've got a pipe that goes from the fuel tank underneath the subframe to your fuel pipe, but it goes all the way along. That rubber hose there had split and it actually swelled with the fuel, and it wasn't very good. But then you go down the front and you've got that metal pipe that comes down from the rear to the front of the vehicle, goes down onto the fuel pump. I don't know if you can see that little braided hose at the back there. Now that one there goes from the pump, or from the pipe to the pump, and then we go from the pump all the way up to the carburetor. Now I replaced the rubber hose at the back, fine. When I come to start the vehicle again, both of these hoses were almost sweating fuel through the outer casing of the pipe. So today I'm going to replace these pipes, and then everything will be new. There'll be new fuel pipes, or rubber fuel hoses, and I'm hoping that's going to resolve the issue of that. Now, as I say, it's a really weird one because you used to be able to just go to the garage, put fuel in it, drive off, and not have to worry. But does this mean now that we're going to have to start draining the fuel tanks if we're parking the cars up for storage over a period of days or weeks or months? I mean, I could go from using this car once or twice a year, maybe even to once or twice a week, depending on the conditions, weather, and you know, how I feel. At the moment, I have no choice. I have to get the Mini fixed so I can drive it because the Clio I'm waiting for parts for. It's Saturday, I've got work to go to on Monday, and I need a vehicle to get me mobile. So I'm going to replace the pipes, but do I run the risk of this happening again? And is there a reason for it? And is there a solution that we have to do going forward? Now I don't know the answers, and I'm kind of putting this video out as a question to my subscribers, my followers, and saying, what do you do? What would you do? And how do you go about resolving this? Now, would you say that I would be best if I'm parking the car up, drain the tank, take the fuel pipes off, flush the system through? It's a huge faff, and actually probably shouldn't need to do that, but given the current state of fuel, I may need to do that going through long term, especially maybe winter storage and winter preparation. Now with my job at work, I work on huge amounts of different types of vehicles, from minis as far up as Bentleys, Ferraris, Aston Martins, Rolls Royces, Lamborghinis and all sorts. I absolutely love it, but we need to try and obviously advise our clients accordingly of what's best, and I can only advise them off of my own current situation. At the moment, I'm using the E5 fuel and I'm still having issues. So is this going to be continuing, and will it continue to get worse? I really appreciate your comments, your feedback, your insight, and please comment down below. Let's try and get a bit of a thread going and see what people's thoughts are and see where we can go from there. But anyway, today, let's get these pipes sorted. So I've had to modify it slightly. So I have got a metal pipe, but I've actually just covered it in this braided hose for now, just to keep it protected. I've got a bit of a leak up here, so I need to change this clamp because it's not good enough. I'm gonna change it for a more of a Jubilee type clip, like this. And then the bottom side of it looks like it's pretty dry, so I'll change this over. Hope for the best. Alright, I'll keep an eye on this, monitor it for the next couple of minutes and see what happens. Right, sorted. Had a sticky float in the end, so the next step is a quick little road test. So the Mini is now fixed and ready to rock and roll on the road. I'm gonna go for a road test now. Just had some lunch. I'm gonna go up the road, make sure that nothing's leaking. I think it was a sticky float that in the end, but the fuel pipes were still leaking, which isn't good. So is E5 fuel as good as we need it to be, and as good as we want it to be? If it's not, what do we do about it? How do we resolve things? Do we have to change to E10 fuel and make alterations and modifications to our classics? Or do we continue with E5 and just, you know, expect the worst to happen at some point? I've been pretty fortunate that I've managed to catch this before I drove the car. But had I driven the car, there could have been, you know, real serious issues where 3 of the rubber hoses were leaking. And you know, I could have lost my car. I could have lost my life. It's a very scary thing, and you know, it sounds a bit dramatic, but it's kind of the case. Had the car caught fire, would I have been able to get out quick enough? Bearing in mind, that's a very small car, and I'm not a very small person. Who knows? Anyway, I'm gonna go for a drive now, and I will be back very soon.
Good riddance.
So just been going through trying to put this video together and edit the video, and realised that I had a very abrupt stop. There's good reasons for this. Now, I took the car for a road test, I brought it back, and the fuel was pouring out from the dash pot. So the fuel tank to fuel pipe hose had perished and disintegrated. That was replaced. From the pipe to the pump, that was replaced. From the pump to the carbs, that's been replaced, and now all the fuel float system has also been replaced. I haven't tested it since because I've fallen out of love with this car a little bit, because it's not not through any fault of this car, but through the products that I'm buying, and it's quite annoying. So it's all effectively good to go, but I just wonder how long it's going to be until the next saga. So I'm going to leave this video here. I'm really keen to hear your feedback, so please comment down below your thoughts and any input, any advice you've been told or you'd like to give. Be greatly appreciated. And yeah, thank you so much. I'm nearly at 4,000 subscribers, which is incredible. I am just so grateful. So thank you so much to the people that subscribed so far. Thank you in advance to the people who are going to be subscribing going forward. It's such a massive confidence boost, and yeah, it's really good knowing that the work that I'm putting in here, filming, editing, putting the content together, be it on this, be it on any of the other cars we've got, anything we do, this is really appreciated. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support, and long may that continue. So thank you again for watching this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.